Insanity, I am the beast that ace cancel me. Granted, he is handsome with the bread, but underneath, way under feet, I cannot see the soul. Up in the grease like the holes in the ozone, up in the heat like holes in the snow globe. You raise your piece, get froze, check the logo. KH killer haters, cold and darks, patience when I'm stuck in prey surveillance. Watch my patience take your plate right off the table. Tell them wait here, waiters waiting in my water. Fishy rappers hate the cadence, here's a tip. When I drop down, you know it's time for prayer. Think I need a moment, man, I'm zoned out.
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get a free TikTok. Only lasts for 60 seconds. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back kind of with our reaction series. You guys know we like to do this on a weekly basis, just kind of talk. I dive into the depths of hip-hop history and see what I can dig up and find. And I've been sent a really dope interview where Ice-T is talking about Eminem, and I thought it'd be just a good point of conversation, a good one to dive into and to check out, man. So those of you who don't know Ice-T, he was born on the East Coast, but then he got sent out to the West Coast where he grew up, which is very interesting connecting to his roots because he came up with the Rhyme Syndicate. And if you guys remember from our live stream when I talked about Everlast versus Eminem, Everlast was an original member of Rhyme Syndicate. And that whole concept was connecting sort of East Coast and West Coast. But kind of what I'm getting at here is that, you know, Ice-T has been involved in making music himself, in music production, in management, so many levels of music throughout his career, so much that he's given back to hip-hop and also to heavy metal. Because a lot of people also don't realize that he started a heavy metal band, Body Count. But yeah, he's got a very interesting ear for music. He's been incredibly successful as an artist throughout the years. He's also been a very successful actor, as we know. So yeah, let's see what he has to say about hearing Eminem for the first time. Let's go.
Well, people always want you to hear their music and stuff like that, but honestly, it's very, very hard to get my attention as far as music. I'm very into unique stuff, and
definitely.
Unfortunately, most people are just repeating something they heard, or it's close.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it's nothing new.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get my mind blown. I want to be like, yo. Like, I remember when I first heard.
It's really funny when Ice-T talks because you can tell he's very smart, and he's just so unassuming, isn't it? Like, you wouldn't think that this is a dude who used to rob banks. This is a dude from the streets. You know what I mean? He's so laid back. But I think there's just that little confidence underneath of it, isn't there? With the way that he talks and carries himself.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get my mind blown. I want to be like, yo. Like, I remember when I first heard Eminem, somebody gave me, matter of fact, Ken G, who's here, his cousin gave it to me, a tape. And I'm like, this crazy white boy is singing about putting his girl in a trunk. What the fuck is this? And the fact that he could really rap and that he was a white kid, that was dope. See, now.
Listen to those words. And for all the Eminem haters out there, and I know we've talked about so much of it, like the Royce da 5'9" Clubhouse interview, that he could really rap. We're not just talking like rap. No, Eminem can rap. I mean, that's the thing is you can't deny his talent. And what people don't realize nowadays is because we have kind of like a watered down Eminem effect because he's been in the game for so long. You got to remember that when he first broke ground and got Dre's cosign and came onto the scene, it was unique. It was controversial because, you know, the white boys that the mainstream was given before that were like Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby. Then all of a sudden Eminem comes through, putting out songs like Kim, talking about slitting Kim's throat, putting her in the trunk, getting rid of the body. I mean, it opened eyes. And Eminem was just so, I don't give a fuck. Like his entire persona and mentality and way that he carried himself. And on top of that, he had the rap skills to back it up. I mean, it really created a splash. And we talked a little bit about this when Gen Z tried to cancel Eminem. But back then, you even had the government, you know, in touch with Eminem, trying to censor Eminem. You had him going back and forth with Dick Cheney. I remember that little beef in those days, man. I mean, you had people protesting and picketing against Eminem. You had him going through his court cases and his battles and what can he say and what is freedom of speech? I mean, yeah, everywhere he went, controversy followed. But we're going off on one. Let's get back to Ice-T.
About putting his girl in a trunk. the fuck is this?
I
And
love
the
that.
fact that he could really rap and that he was a white kid, that was dope. See, now there's a lot of white kids rapping. So now it's like, okay, well, you kind of sound like Eminem. Yeah. But he was like one of the early ones. And
I mean, what is it on Without Me? I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley to use black music so selfishly and use it to get myself wealthy. Hey, there's a concept that works. 20 million other white rappers emerge, but no matter how many fish in the sea, yet it feels so empty without me. I mean, it's so true, though. Eminem has inspired so many white artists since then. And I mean, and look at me. I'm one of them. And, you know, me, white kid coming up in a hip hop in a primarily black community, you could not help but feel inspired by Eminem when you would go to the battles, when you were on the grind, you know, when you were playing those open mics. I mean, he's the one that paved the way for so many people. And like we talked about on this channel, he crossed bridges for hip hop. He all of a sudden built a bridge for hip hop to now infiltrate middle America, to now infiltrate upper income America. And what do these people have? Money to buy CDs, to take hip hop from a growing phenomenon into an international, global phenomenon. I mean, Eminem has his fingerprints all over that. And isn't it funny? Because, yeah, there are a ton of white rappers nowadays, and there's been a lot that have come and gone. And it can be tough, too, because the second that you can rap lyrical now, if you have wordplay and you just have certain ways of delivering stuff and you can rap, you get called Eminem. I mean, I get called it all the time. And some people, they get offended by that. You know, some artists are like, oh, don't call me this artist, don't call me that artist. To me, I don't care. If you want to compare me and some of my lyrics to one of the greats, then I'll take that, because obviously we are who we are inspired by. We are who we fill our heads with, you know, as creative minds. Whatever we pump into our brains, that comes out into our music. So the music that we listen to, the television shows that we watch, the books that we read, our daily lives, and what inspires us. So, you know, me pumping my head with like Royce the 5'9", Eminem, and those artists, if that reflects itself in my music a little bit, it's understandable. But at the same time, I think there's like a fine line. There has to be sort of a cutoff point with artists and with emerging artists where, and Ice-T is talking a bit and Ice-T is talking about it here, where that cutoff line is, you know, how much do you get influenced by other artists, but then you have to find your own lane and you have to create your own style and become an originator, not an imitator.
Well, you kind of sound like Eminem. Yeah. But he was like one of the early ones, and his style was different and it was unique, and he turned out to be a star. You know, so if you want to be original, look and see what everyone else is doing. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's difficult for people.
Exactly. It's so easy to want to follow the trends. Go, oh, this is working. We see that this is successful. Let's go do it. And I think that's one of the problems that labels have had a lot of times in the new era, in this new sort of YouTube and Spotify era and online plays, is that things move so much quicker. I mean, you drop an album and it's forgotten within a few weeks. It's like, well, what are you going to do for me next? It's always about content. And people are moving from one trend to another trend, and trends pick up so much quicker. So the thing is, like, a trend happens, labels see it, they want to get their artists to start following those trends. By the time their artists inject themselves into those trends, internet has moved on to something else. And that's why a lot of you guys reach out to me. You say, you know, do you have any advice for aspiring artists, for artists coming up? And, you know, I'm still an artist on the come up, really. I'm still an independent artist. I mean, I have been doing this for a long time. I've been in the game for, God, I don't even know how long, 10 to 15 years now. I mean, it has been a long time and a long come up. But what the key is go learn from the greats. You know, go get inspired by the ones that you want to emulate, that you want to be like. And then start practicing, start figuring out how they write things, how they do things. I mean, you'll see it sometimes in my music, especially when I've done my battle sessions or if I'm doing more like mixtape work. Like, I'll try things. I'll try schemes I've seen other artists do. I'll try to use some of their stuff and some of their tools so I can learn it, so I can get my mind wrapped around it. But then when it comes to album time, when it comes time to put out the original music, that's when you really got to find your own sound and make your own noise. And you have to stay true to yourself and kind of who you are as an artist. And I think if you find what you love, what sound just gets you going and what you're truly passionate about, stop worrying about trends, stop worrying about, you know, if people are going to like it or not. Just focus on what you love and focus on what is true to you. And I think if you establish that identity with your music, then you create more timeless music. Then you create music that isn't built to capitalize on trends. You create just art. And that art, maybe it doesn't get picked up now. Maybe someone realizes it and appreciates the greatness a year from now, 2 years from now. But it's all about sort of creating timeless art and timeless music with what you do.
Do that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's difficult for people.
Yeah. Because you have to be out there. Like, people will say, who is this asshole, like, trying to do that? Yeah. And
You have to have courage.
Yeah, it's not easy.
You have to have courage to be yourself. But
That's well put by IC. It definitely takes courage. It takes a certain level of courage to be willing to risk it because you know what can be successful. This path, you don't know if it's going to be successful. You don't know how people are going to take it. But, you know, in order to achieve the biggest gains in life, you have to take
do
risks.
that. Yeah. And
you have to have courage.
yeah.
You have to have courage to be yourself. But real people only respect real people. So, you know, if I know you real, if this is you and I can dig it. I'm not going to judge you. But when I catch you posing or being a little bit trying to be this, you know, worst thing you could do is walk up on a dude from the street and try to act street. You're like, man, shut your bitch ass up. Like, you know, because it's corny to us. Like, we already know we're from there, and you don't have to do that to be my friend. I don't need that, you know? So you probably have a life story that I'm probably interested in if you sit down and tell me.
I love that perspective. And kind of what I just touched upon there, and it's so true. You know, everybody has their own struggles. We talk about it on here. You know, life can suck. Life will kick you down. And whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you're rich, we all have struggles that we have to go through. We all have pain that we experience. We have loss that we all experience. So these are all things that can inspire you and your music, and use music as an outlet to help people and to get through things. It doesn't matter where it is. I mean, rap is a story of come up. Rap is a story of overcoming. So whether that's just inner city, poor conditions, crime-filled neighborhoods, or whether it's a different sort of struggle in overcoming, whether that's critique, whether that's mental depression, whether that's hate, whether that's loss of loved ones, whether that's a sickness or a disease. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can apply yourself and apply your art, no matter your background. And that's always been the beautiful thing about music. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, I just thought it'd be a good interview to launch into some talking points, and yeah, just to have a little bit of us and Knox time. Anyways, guys, thanks as always for supporting, for showing love. Don't forget live streams every single Saturday, 1 p.m. EST. We try to break my brain. They're great energy, man. They are a lot of fun, and we really deep dive into some music and into some history as well. So stay tuned for that. Keep commenting, keep supporting the channel, hit that like button, share it if you're here at the end of this video. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button with notifications on. As always, this is your reminder to stay safe, to stay positive. It's Knox Hill. I'll catch you again soon. I'm out.